I'd just like to sit down and have a conversation about why.
Right now at 5, she's one of the women accusing a former Hogsett administration member of sexual harassment. Her response to the mayor's actions.
And school threat reports from across central Indiana. The children as young as 12. Indiana State Police are now arresting.
And we are tracking the final sprinkles from Francine. We'll let you know where those are headed. We'll take a look at the rainfall totals that we got, but then we've got to talk about the huge heat wave that's headed our way.
Good evening, it's 5 o'clock, and tonight we are hearing from one of the women at the center of the sexual harassment allegations plaguing the Indianapolis mayor's office.
So yesterday, Mayor Hogsett signed a council proposal creating a committee to look into how his administration handled the investigation.
Our Emily Longnecker has been following this story for weeks now, just spoke with one of the accusers.
And Emily, can you share with us what was the reaction to it all?
Well, Lauren Roberts told me that she is hopeful after the Indianapolis City County Council formed this investigative committee. She says whether the committee subpoenas her or not, she's open to talking to its members about her experience, but that's not the only conversation she'd like to have.
Roberts says she still wants to meet with Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett and emailed him Thursday to tell him that. She's calling on the mayor to prove he ordered an investigation of his former deputy mayor and campaign manager, Thomas Cook, in 2017. Hogsett says he reached out to legal counsel in October of that year to investigate Roberts' claims that Cook sexually harassed her when she worked for the Hogsett mayoral campaign in 2015. Roberts wants the mayor to prove it with documentation.
I think that it would be a show of good faith for him to release my report because I'm the victim and I'm the one requesting it. I think it would show that he's taking this seriously and that he's listening to survivors.
At a news conference Thursday, the mayor said releasing any reports would undermine trust in a recently established anonymous reporting system where city-county employees can make harassment complaints.
To release a report would be counterproductive to what is bringing us here today.
As the victim, I think it should be up to me whether or not something is public.
Roberts says if there was an investigation into Cook, no one ever contacted her about it. Thursday, Mayor Hogsett was asked repeatedly about that.
I have no idea. I didn't conduct the interviews.
According to a timeline provided by the mayor, the treasurer for his campaign reached out to Roberts in July 2018.
She said she was there to talk. At no time was the word investigation used. At no time was the word interview used. And this was, again, 2018, more than a year after I first came forward.
Roberts says she had the same concerns when leaders with the state Democratic Party offered to sit down with her in August 2017 after she asked them how to report sexual harassment on a campaign.
They're very connected to the mayor. And also, that's not a reporting process.
Basically, Roberts feels like it took her being willing to come forward publicly to get any kind of awareness of what she says is a systemic issue. Now, coming up tonight at 6, we're going to talk a little more about this investigative committee. It's still in its early stages and hasn't even met yet. One question that we asked the city today is about whether the folks that testify before this committee will have to do so under oath, and we'll have that answer tonight at 6.
Okay. Thank you so much, Emily Longnecker, reporting this evening.
Tonight, we are learning another Indianapolis Metro police officer is under investigation.
Now, we asked Metro Police for the details of those allegations, but they did not provide them, saying they cannot comment on active investigations. Now, instead, they did send this statement. It says the officer involved in these allegations has been placed on administrative duty with no law enforcement power, duty, or equipment. Metro Police say they'll share the findings of their investigation when it's over. And right now, police in Hendricks County are asking for your help to find the suspect who led police on a chase which ended in a deadly crash.
Barbara and Benny Williams died in that crash 2 weeks ago when a Plainfield officer who was chasing the suspect hit their car. Now, Avon police, who are leading the investigation, they want your help finding this man, Brian Goodman. They say they believe he led Plainfield officers on that chase. However, he was not actually involved in the crash.
They also released a picture of him for surveillance video. Investigators say it shows him leaving the suspect's car after the chase. So if you have any information which can help, please call Crime Stoppers.
And you can stay anonymous. Remember, you don't have to give your name. The number on your screen, 317-262-TIPS.
So we have seen a lot of threats against schools all over central Indiana in the past week. Now, while police say some of those threats were unfounded, officers did arrest at least 7 students across the area.
Rich Nye joins us now with some reaction from a local prosecutor whose office ultimately decides if those children will face criminal charges. Rich?
Indiana State Police told us just this afternoon that troopers have investigated 3 separate online school threats in the past week. 2 of those investigations resulted in the arrest of juveniles that went to jail. Students ages 15 and just 12 years old were arrested for threats made against the schools that they attend. Now, we don't know what specific schools those 2 students threatened, but we do know that students were arrested for threats in recent days at Warren Central, Perry Meridian, and Anderson High Schools, as well as schools in Marion and Richmond. Now the county prosecutor decides what charges they will face.
And a threat away from school isn't nearly as serious as one made at school. I guess that's the way we would take it. So anybody showing up to school with a gun, and that happens far too often as well, those are a lot more serious. That's far more likely to get you put into an adult crime.
Madison County Prosecutor Rodney Cummings also says an online threat posted on social media could result in a felony intimidation charge.
All right, police, both locally and the state police and prosecutors and even the FBI taking this very seriously, Rich. Thank you. Tonight we are hearing from the mother of a man shot and killed not even 24 hours ago.
And the shooting happened off 16th Street and College Avenue. Our Anna Chalker shares his mother's message tonight.
Rayon Matthews' mom told me that she was just speaking with him hours before he was shot and killed. She said he's been turning his life around these last couple of months, and when he was released from jail just about 45 days ago, he moved to that apartment complex when that shooting happened. I want you to take a look at video from that scene. Police tell us the shooting happened at Westmont Apartments on Lewis Street overnight. When officers got on scene, they saw a person shooting, and then they found Matthews lying on the ground with gunshot wounds. That's where he was pronounced dead. Police say they did take someone into custody, but they were later released during the investigation. We also received a statement from the complex. They say, "We are aware of the tragic incident and working with law enforcement, sharing any camera footage. It is a shame gun violence is happening all over our city." Matthew's mom says he was a part of the New Boy program for the last 10 years, and he spoke with a lot of the younger kids in that program, and she wants anyone who has any information to reach out to police so he gets justice, and so does their family. In Indianapolis, Anna Chalker, 13 News.
Yeah, hopefully they do, Anna. Thank you. Well, police did release somebody this morning. They do not have any suspects. We'll keep you posted. Tonight, we're learning a man shot last weekend has now died from his injuries. Earlier today, the Marion County coroner identified 35-year-old Willie Williams. The coroner says he died 4 days after someone shot him over the weekend. The shooting happened on Indy's west side near Wilson Street and West 10th. Police have not released any information about a possible suspect in that case.
Well, developing tonight, we're learning it will now be at least a year before the man accused of killing an Elwood police officer goes on trial. Officer Noah Shanovez died after someone shot him during a traffic stop in July of 22. The man accused of killing him now faces the death penalty if convicted. However, today, a Madison County judge delayed Carl Board's trial. It was supposed to start in January, but the judge pushed it 9 months. It's now scheduled to begin in September of next year.
All right, just about 5:10 on this Friday afternoon. Let's take a look outside. This is Franklin College in Johnson County. Students going to class. Had some great weather this morning, lots of sunshine.
Oh, yeah.
Matt, seems to have kind of clouded up in parts of the area this afternoon, though.
Yeah, a little especially this final round of Francine is trying to move a little bit farther north, so we're getting a couple extra clouds. They're not going to last too much longer. But man, Francine has had a tough time with the high pressure that's sitting over the Great Lakes, kind of like a linebacker trying to protect it from trying to come in. But the low pressure for the center of Francine, in fact, is starting to drift back to the south. That's how strong this high pressure is. It's pushing the system slowly back off towards the deep south. Now, we were able to get a little bit of light rain, probably about 10% of central Indiana got a couple showers. Right now, we're just tracking sprinkles and mainly south of Indianapolis. Once you get towards Bloomington, Monroe Lake, we've got a little bit of light rain for us. Martinsville, we've got a big game tonight. Decatur Central taking on the Artesians. Got a couple light sprinkles for us. A few sprinkles towards Columbus, Seymour, Bedford. But the thing is, it drops a couple sprinkles and then it quickly evaporates. So this water is really not doing anything for us. We were able to pick up more rainfall to the south, but most of Indy and then everyone to the north and east had a very sunny day. Now, this was our last round of rain we're going to have for a while. Coming up, we got to talk about a huge stretch of heat that's on the way.
All right, thanks so much, Matt. And law enforcement officers, they got a tough job. Every day they put on their uniform to protect and to serve and help keep us safe.
This afternoon, our Karen Campbell went to an event where the community came together to honor Metro police officers and share what it means to them.
A different kind of roll call Friday for these officers with the East and Southeast districts of the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department.
We thank the Lord for those whose families.
This one inviting officers to the Father's house for prayer, a hot meal, but more importantly to thank them for their service. Pastors Vicky and Dr. Chris Holland say the event is a way to let officers know the community stands with them.
Just out of our hearts, we wanted to not be a silent majority, but to be the very loud majority.
The fact that we get to deal with such a violent world out there, when we have the opportunity to come out here and have the Father's House show the respect and the generosity that they do for us, for Southeast District and East District, it is truly heartwarming.
The Hollands say volunteers took the day off work to help out and honor officers.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is something the Father's House has been doing for 16 years, just a way to let IMPD officers know that they are appreciated in their community. Karen Campbell, 13 News.
And they didn't do it alone. The Father's House partnered with local businesses that provided food and raffle items for those Metro police officers. Karen's going to have much more on today's event coming up at 6 o'clock.
More to come. Crime Stoppers from across the country are in Indianapolis this weekend.
We'll explain what they're doing to keep you and your family safe. It's new at 5:30. First at 5, coming to the rescue.
The lengths first responders had to go to when they found a woman trapped under a tree during Hurricane Francine. Plus, trying to win your votes across the country.
The chaos one community is still enduring today after the presidential debate. That's next.